Alright guys, welcome back to week 4 Around the East. Emily here.
Sarah here.
And we're Around the East. Alright guys, so our first story this week, we're talking about the Philadelphia Eagles, their awesome Super Bowl win. Nick Foles, who is a Liberty University student.
In the flames.
But he's also adding author to his many talents. He is going to be writing a memoir about all of the steps it took to take him where he is today, all of the success, and for sure in that he's going to be pointing back to Christ. Nick Foles stated that he didn't expect to be writing a book at this point in his life, and he also said that he's excited for the opportunity to tell his story and be able to share his faith with those around him. He stated that ever since the Super Bowl, people have been wanting to hear about how we got there and what it was like, which is a big part of the story, but I also want to be transparent about the struggles I've gone through in my life and my career. And so I just think it's really awesome just that the Lord gives us those platforms wherever we are, whether it's big and you're winning Super Bowls and you're the MVP quarterback, or if we're in middle school or high school and just, you know, playing sports, we have platforms, we have a team that we can encourage and point people to Christ through our talents.
Sure. Thanks, Emily. Let's look at our next story. Our next story keeps us at football, and the off-season football means free agency. And during this year's free agency, former Minnesota Vikings quarterback Case Keenum decided to sign a 2-year contract with the Denver Broncos. But before reporting for off-season programming in Denver, in April 13th, Keenum accepted the Uncommon Award. This award is given to someone who takes the tough road to follow a higher calling or set a higher standard. Hall of Famer Tony Dungy presented the award to Keenum at an event called Arise with the Guys. This is an event that professional and collegiate Christian athletes share inspirational message of faith, godly values, and a legacy building. So Sports Spectrum reported just last year that Keenum is a man that has his priorities straight. Keenum said he knows football is not going to be around forever and that the true reason he even plays the game is to give God the glory. He also said that he became a Christian at an FCA meeting because he was spending time with Christian athletes. Whether you're an outspoken athlete or a quiet practitioner of your Christian faith, athletes are taking a stand for God, and it's so cool to see that they are using their platform to point others to Him.
Alright, so heading over from football into baseball. Baseball's opening day was a few weeks ago, and since then baseball has been all the rage. There's a recent story on Twitter that a lot of people were interested in Braden Webb. He's the Brewers pitching prospect. He shared a story on his Twitter about how he was able to share the gospel with a homeless man that he had come in contact with. He said at first he was kind of just unsure and didn't exactly want to spend the time to talk to someone like that, just thinking that he was begging and, you know, he could be out there doing stuff for himself, and he just wasn't. But he wound up talking to him and learning more about him and his story, and he wound up taking him to dinner and buying him dinner and then buying him a hotel room and letting him stay in a safe place for the night. But through that he was able to share the gospel with him, and he said that the man was brought to tears. And he also said that he doesn't know if the man decided to follow the Lord, but he knows that those seeds are planted. And I just think that's a really awesome story about how we don't know if what we do on a daily basis is, you know, making these seeds, is planting them, and we need to be encouraged by that and continue to do that in whatever we do, whether that's sports or our occupations, whatever it is. And so this is just one way that Braden was able to share the love of Christ. And 1 John 4:19 says that we love because he first loved us. And so we should be able to do that in everything that we do.
Thanks for following along this week, guys. We looked at 2 different football players and a baseball player that are all taking stands for the kingdom. So be encouraged. We want you to share the gospel and use sports as an avenue for ministry. So check back next week for week 5 and some more sports news.